Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a thriftlet video where I take items I have recently thrifted and I update them to something that is more my style. I just know that y'all are gonna love the projects on today's video, so let's go ahead and get started. For this project, I'm going to be using some rolls of string that I thrifted. I love these. I always pick them up when I find them. I'm also going to be using some wooden spindles, and I'm going to be using these wood rounds that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I want the spindles to fit inside the rolls of string, but I also want some of the spindle to show. So I'm going to put the roll of string in my spindle and just mark where I feel like it looks good, and then I'm going to take it to my miter saw and cut these spindles down. I got the spindles cut down to the size that I want, and while I was in my garage doing that, I found this piece. It's a cutoff from a ruler that I used on a previous project, and I feel like I could do something cool with it. So I'm going to add this to my DIY project. Now I'm going to glue my spindles to the middle of the wood round. Just whatever glue you have on hand will work. Normally I use wood glue, but today I'm just going to use hot glue. And like I said, I'm going to glue it to the center. Then I'm going to turn it over and use my brad nailer and just put a few nails in the center of this board, and that should keep everything in place. Now I want to paint my pieces. I really like the dark aged wood on this spindle, so I want to go ahead and have my wood round match that. So I just have a little mason jar of watered down antiquing wax, and I'm going to put it on this brand new wood, and it's going to give it a nice aged look. For this project, I'm going to be using Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Ash. It is more of a charcoal color than a true black. It is very pretty, and I'm also going to be using the number 14 pointed sash paintbrush. And I'm going to be painting this cute little bird because I want to put it on top of the spindle. But first I need to paint everything and then put the spool of twine on, and then attach the bird because the spool will not fit over the bird. Anytime I find little birds at the thrift store, I definitely scoop them up because they are the perfect little thing just to add to little projects like this. They just make everything so much cuter. And of course, I will have a link to all the products that I used in this video. For the measuring stick, I'm going to use one of the smaller wood rounds from Hobby Lobby, and I think the ash color will pair very well with the measuring stick. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this wood round ash as well, and I only put one coat of paint on here. The Fusion Mineral Paint has excellent coverage. Once it's dry, I'm going to attach it to the wood round the same way I did the other ones. And we are ready to put the final touches on this project. So I'm going to add my spool of string to the black spindle one, and then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue my cute little bird on top. Something else I always thrift is amazing old cute scissors. So I want to attach some amazing scissors to these little spindles and little spools of string. So this one's like a little tiny rusty pair, and I just used some other string that I had on hand, and I think it'll add a little bit of extra texture to use a different string. And I'm just going to tie it right to my spool, and I think that this one came out so cute. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay, let's move on to the wood one. I'm going to add a spool, and then I have these amazing beautiful scissors. I love these so much. They are huge, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick them right in, and I think that that looks great. Okay, now on to the last one. So there was actually some holes in this little piece in the bottom, so I'm gonna put my spool over it, and I'm going to stick my scissors through the hole that's already there. And I had some red ones, so I figured that these would be perfect. And now I cannot decide which one is my favorite. I love them all. If you love how these came out as well, they are currently for sale on my website. However, I have a feeling they will sell out fast. So just make sure you sign up for the wait list because I am on the hunt for more unique pieces to create some more of these. I got this piece, I think, from the Goodwill bins, and I like the shape of it. However, I definitely did not like the fake rust they had on it, so we're going to make it look a whole lot better. I have been dying to use this new Fusion paint color. It is called Oakum, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a dark green brownish color. It is absolutely beautiful. I think not only a great year-round color, but it is definitely going to be an amazing color for fall and Christmas. I got one coat of paint on the piece, and I'm just not liking this seam right here in the middle of it, so I decided to add an IOD mode to it. I'm using IOD's Trimmings 3 mode. I already dusted it with some cornstarch, and I'm going to add my IOD air dry clay. You just push it into your mode, and then you take your finger and just rub off all the excess. And then you just wiggle your mold around a little bit and it pops right out. And I'm going to take some Gorilla Glue and I'm going to glue it to my piece. It took 2 pieces of the trim here, and then I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and cut off any excess that I have. The glue does take 24 hours to completely cure, but it sets up pretty quickly, so I'm going to give it a few minutes just to keep my clay in place, and then I'm just going to go ahead and paint the whole piece. I ended up putting 2 coats of paint on here, and I would really love to know what y'all think about this paint color. I really like it, and I definitely could have done more to this piece. I could have put more molds on it. I could have put a transfer on it, but I don't know. I just like the simplicity of the stuff that was on there, and I just decided to leave it as is, but y'all let me know what y'all think. I paid $2 for this cute little bench at the Goodwill bins, and Ren found it and she has been using it in her room, but it matches nothing in her room. So we're going to make it match her room. I'm going to be using Fusion mineral paint in the color Peony and the number 18 pointed sash paintbrush. This paintbrush is perfect for bigger projects like this. I am going to take the legs off, but I thought it'd be a lot easier to paint the bench with the legs on, and it ended up taking me, I think, 3 coats just because the base was so dark and the peony is just, you know, a much lighter color. And the Fusion paint requires 0 prep work, and it has a built-in sealer, so a few coats of this and I am done. I do want to add her name to the bench. However, I don't want it to stand out too much. I want it to be pretty subtle, so I'm going to be using the IOD typesetting stamp. I love this stamp and I love this font, so I'm going to spell out her name, and I'm going to be using the IOD white ink. You just apply the ink to your stamp and then you stamp the piece, and it is as easy as that to add on any word that you want to. And I just love how the stamps give you that imperfect vintage look. Now that the top is done, we are going to work on the legs. I'm going to remove them all. I do want to keep the natural wood look. However, it does have a lot of marks. It was definitely used by a kid. So I'm just going to give it a good sanding, just trying to get off as much marks as I can, but I'm not going for perfection here. It is going back in a kid's room. And then I'm going to use a combination of polyacrylic and antiquing wax. If you watch my video where I made over the little cube storage in her room, I use this mixture for the pieces of wood that I put on top of the cubbies. That way all of this will tie together. I put the peony already in her room, the Fusion mineral paint color, and I use this little custom stain. So all these pieces that I'm adding into her room, I'm using a lot of the same elements, so in the end it will look like one cohesive collection in her room. I want to make a sign for myself, so I'm going to be using 3 of my favorite things: drop cloth, a spindle, and the IOD typesetting stamp. I'm making a sign that says Julie's Designs and Signs because I would really like to start doing live crafting over on Facebook. So I have my DIY filming area in my loft. So in this one little corner, I just want to make it cute. I want to have my, name up there so that way I can, have a cute little area to film. So if you are not following me over on Facebook, definitely go follow me because that will be happening very soon. In this stamp, they do not have an apostrophe, so I'm just using a little piece of the number 5 to make my little apostrophe, and that worked out perfectly. So what I did was I just laid out the letters on my thin mount. I do have these on my website. They're $3, guys, and I recommend purchasing 2 of them. One, so you can keep it full size like this, and one that you can cut up, so that way you have the perfect size for every project. So you lay it out on your thin mount. It has a grid that makes it super easy, and then you ink it up. I'm just using the IOD ink in the color black, and then you apply it to your surface. And I just love the way that stamps look on fabric. It just gives it, that vintage look that I love. And of course, I will not be washing this because it is going to be a sign that hangs on the wall. But say you were doing a pillow, what you do is you wait for your ink to dry, let it dry 24 hours, and then you just heat set it with just an iron at whatever temperature that fabric needs, and then it will be good to go. You can wash it as needed. Now that my piece is stamped, I'm going to go ahead and mark and cut my fabric. When at all possible, I prefer to stamp first and then cut my fabric after. That way I could just make sure it is perfectly centered. To attach my drop cloth to the back of the spindle, I'm just going to be using a stapler. And as you can see, the back of this spindle is flat, not round. I can't even remember where I got this from. I think it might have been from a bed or something. But if you end up with a flat spindle like this, it is perfect to make signs with. I would love to hang it with a piece of twine or rope, but the slope of the ceiling in that area will not allow room for that. So I'm just going to put a little sawtooth hook on the back and this piece will be done. All right, I need to do one more quick little project for this filming area. These little plastic containers come from the Dollar Tree and they fit the IOD molds perfectly. So I want to make a cute little drop cloth label that'll tie into my drop cloth sign that I just made. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put IOD molds on the drop cloth and then I'm going to hot glue it to my container. For this one, I'm using the IOD letterpress stamp, which next to the typesetting stamp, this is my favorite one. The font is very similar, so if you can, I would get both of them. I love both of these stamps. I just love the way that this little corner came together. I think it's going to be perfect. I believe I'm going to do the live DIYs every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I will see y'all over on Facebook for that. All right, guys, I really hope that y'all enjoyed today's video. Please leave a comment below and let me know what was your favorite project that I created in this video, because I'm about to show y'all a thrift flip that Ren did. And I know that Ren is y'all favorite, so I'm not even going to try to compete with her. So I thrifted this wooden box at the Goodwill bins a while back, and I wanted to flip it in this video. I wanted to cover the bottom with IOD molds and leave it white and beautiful, and then paint the top pink, and then I was gonna put a W stamp on here and maybe like a little bit of the Alpha Belly stamp. I don't know. I didn't get to do it, but that was my plan. But I told Ren about it, and she was so excited to decorate the box, but she wanted to do it to herself. So she immediately went grab a whole bunch of pink stamps, and her daddy decorated this whole box, and she was just so excited and so cute about it. I probably should have videoed it for y'all, but I did not. And she already has it full of her little treasures. So this is Ren's thrift flip for today's video, and I think it looks absolutely perfect in her room. So once again, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed Ren's little thrift flip. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all next Monday for a shopping haul video. Bye, guys.